Welcome to a brand new episode of Cowboys Insider. I'm your host, Lindsay Draper. Well, the sense of urgency is heightened now more than ever with the Cowboys sitting at 6-6 on the season in Week 14. This locker room doesn't seem like they're throwing in the towel or giving up or disbanded at all, but what they do seem is frustrated. Running back Ezekiel Elliott says, "We just have not been good enough when it counts." Travis Frederick does say, though, that this team is built for the back-against-the-wall mentality because of the leaders and the guys that they have in this locker room. Let's dig into all of it right now on Cowboys Insider.
Determination, the intensity, that we can beat anybody.
We keep going, that's what we need to do.
Not only match what we've done in the past, make football bigger tin life.
Believe in yourself! Believe in your team!
They are the Dallas Cowboys, America's team.
Here we go! A lot of amazing football players. We're going to try and draw you off sides! You know what you got to do,
The Thanksgiving game is a tradition the Cowboys have been involved in for over 50 years. The Salvation Army halftime show during the Cowboys game kicks off the visibility and donations for the less fortunate all over the world. And although the game was Thursday, Ezekiel Elliott's personal donation couldn't wait.
Well, thank you all for being here this afternoon. As you know, this is Thanksgiving week for us, and it is a very special week for us and the Salvation Army and the National Red Kettle Campaign kickoff. That will be at halftime during the game. But as you also know, Zeke has always had a very special tie to the Salvation Army. Jerry made a little fun with Zeke with his Zeke Who t-shirt. Actually, Zeke had pledged $100,000 to the Salvation Army. With that t-shirt, we decided, well, why don't we just print them and sell them, because we're the Cowboys, that's what we do, and then donate all the proceeds on behalf of Zeke to the Salvation Army.
Thanksgiving is very important to the Cowboys, very important to Salvation Army, it's very important to myself. Last year I threw my quarterback in the kettle. This year we're throwing a little bit more in the kettle, so I'm just happy to be a part of this and help Salvation Army make DFW better.
Coming up next here on Cowboys Insider, Thanksgiving Day is one that they wish they could have back. It's also one that the Bills clearly had circled on their calendar. We dig into the game and an emotional post-game locker room right after this.
Cowboys Insider is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys, AT&T, and by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass. This segment is brought to you by the Dallas Morning News. Nobody does sports like Sports Day. Your home for complete Dallas Cowboys coverage.
This one was a game that some said didn't really matter. But when it comes to the heartbeat of this team, they need to find their pulse, and quickly. Jerry Jones on a short week faced many questions about whether or not he was standing behind his criticism from the Patriots game, and where he stood with the play of his quarterback, Dak Prescott.
Let me just say this. I think all of us, including the fans, want to win a damn football game. Okay? Now, I know we've got a lot of other things to think about. Who's coaching, who's playing, who's compared to another player someplace else. How about let's win some ball games, folks? We can take that other stuff. I'm not known as a guy who gets hand cramps when I'm writing checks, but I want to win some football games.
And if this one on Thanksgiving needed any more sauce to it, former slot receiver Cole Beasley is coming back to town, although he denies feeling any sort of way about it.
I haven't really thought about it. You know, I've been happy here, so kind of focus more on what we've been doing here, so I haven't really thought about it. There's no ill will or anything.
Happy Thanksgiving! Happy Thanksgiving! From the Smiths and the Johnsons.
Today Mr. Drake.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Family, happy Thanksgiving.
Let's go. What are you thankful for? Let's go.
Enjoy the game, all right?
Thanksgiving today?
Cowboys don't really have to win this game. Pollard started in a stack. He goes wide right. Prescott goes screen right to Elliott. Gets a block from Zach Martin. And he's across the 30-yard line. Play fake. Bootleg to the right. Throwing back to Witten at the 2.
Let's see you win. Stick to it. Hey, we set the standard. Stick to it all night. All night. Let's go.
And looking and standing and avoids a rush and comes up the middle and breaks a tackle and slides at the 35.
Listen to me. When this guy runs and goes down late, don't hit him in the head now. They just warned us. Hey, don't hit this guy in the head late when he runs now. Run quarterback. Don't hit him late. He's a late slider. All right.
They blitz again. Prescott drops a screen that's intercepted at the 30-yard line. No pressure, rolls right, throws on the run. Beasley at the 10.
If you play your game for stats, we're going to get beat. We'll look at the stat sheet and say, well, at the end of the day, we lost.
Yeah, just keep him in. He can't beat us from in there. He wants to extend the plays with movement. Keep him in there.
He stands and looks right, nothing there. Now he's sacked, and the ball's stripped out. That's a sack, strip, fumble.
We battle our ass off. We climb right back into this thing now, all right? Clean slate. Clear your hearts, clear your minds, and let's go chop.
Allen under center. They run a reverse left and a double reverse right, and John Brown throws the ball to the right side, and he walks in for the Buffalo touchdown.
And we're not defeated, man. We just got to get some turnovers. That's it. The opportunity come, man. Just kind of strip the ball, do whatever we got to do to get the ball. The game will come down to the defense making a stop.
Good snap and hold, 35-yard kick. Maher drives it. No, he missed it to the left.
We too talented, bro. Top to bottom, man. Let's go. Believe that. We know it. We know it. Let's go.
Right, look out. To the 10, to the 5, to the pylon. Touchdown, Josh Allen. I mean, this is bad. There's nothing good about it. It was horrible. And it doesn't necessarily mean anything for the rest of the year. Next week is next week. But it's not good. It's certainly not what you want to carry through into the weekend.
Coming up next on Cowboys Insider, Jerry Jones in tears, screams from the locker room, and all the drama from the bowels of AT&T Stadium right after this.
This segment was brought to you by the Dallas Morning News. Nobody does sports like Sports Day. Your home for complete Dallas Cowboys coverage. This segment is brought to you by DraftKings. Play for the biggest prizes in fantasy sports on DraftKings. Use promo code COWBOYS.
The Cowboys didn't perform well enough on Thanksgiving, not even close. They fell to the Bills 26-15 with their final touchdown being in garbage time. The dejection from this team speaks for itself as they continue to search for the answers as to why they keep coming up short.
I mean, it's very disappointing, just with everything that's at stake, where we are in the season. And a loss in general is just very disappointing.
It was a game of revenge for former slot receiver Cole Beasley. He hung a 100-yard game on the Cowboys and tied his career high for touchdowns, reaching 5 during his first season with the Bills, with 4 games still to play. And there was nothing the Cowboys could do defensively to stop him or Bills quarterback Josh Allen.
Yeah, obviously we didn't get the job done. They're a good football team, and we didn't do what we needed to do to win the game. And when you play a team like this, you got to cash in on your drives. You can't lose the turnover battle 2-0.
A completely demoralizing loss to downgrade their record to 500 left Jerry Jones almost speechless, and it left his players with much to say to each other.
Yeah, emotional locker room. Just an exchange of words about us sticking together. Anything and everything outside of that locker room doesn't matter, and as simple as that.
Special teams here are in disarray for the Cowboys, but what's holding them together? The efforts of punter Chris Jones. Exclusive one-on-one sit-down with the veteran who doesn't get enough credit right after this on Cowboys Insider.
This segment was brought to you by DraftKings. Play for the biggest prizes in fantasy sports on DraftKings. Use promo code Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Roughly 8 years ago, punter Chris Jones signed with the Cowboys to be the backup to Matt McBriar. But when an unexpected nerve problem began affecting the current punter McBriar's leg, Jones had to immediately step up.
I knew what my role was then. I knew wholeheartedly, we got a 2-time Pro Bowler in here. We need a lefty, we need a leg kind of deal. I was like, I'm there, I'm in 100%. If nothing else, I'm gonna get reps in 4 preseason games, and film goes out to 31 other teams. I guess I was the first man up, so came in and tried to make something of it, and here we are 8 years later.
Even after punting a football almost every day for 8 years in the NFL, Jones says he can still find ways to improve. He likes taking advantage of practicing both indoors and outdoors because while the Cowboys play in an enclosed stadium, Dallas has back-to-back road games in outdoor stadiums.
Wednesdays, we typically practice outdoors, so kind of an outdoor game feeling, whether it's wind or weather. So you're kind of battling the elements, so to speak. You're still trying different kicks. You're trying, stay hash to hash, kick crossfield, kick out of bounds, and kicking something this small on the back end can make a huge difference down the field. So it's a lot of little things, working technical stuff. As much as I would love to sit out there and kick, 150 balls a day, it's not in the cards. So you have to work the little things to improve week to week.
Against the Patriots in the freezing rain, Jones had a blocked punt. But he says inclement weather is no excuse when it comes to performing at a high level.
You can't really focus too much on it. You still have a job to do. It's a little bit of a mental game. You have to trick yourself. If the ball's wet when it comes to me, it's going to be even wetter when the returner gets his hands on it. If it's, blowing the ball, coming back to me on a snap, the guy's going to have a tough time catching on the back end. So just concentrate on what you can control and go from there.
Jones isn't able to do his job as a punter or holder without the rest of the special teams unit. Thankfully, he says they couldn't be closer.
They might as well be my brothers. LP, he's like an older brother for sure. Been around him for years now. And the same with Brett. We're all three kind of, I guess in that same stage of life. All three of us have 2 kids, married. There's a lot of common ground, so we can all just kind of feed off of each other with that. But it's good. For us three, we have to be on the same page, especially with field goal. You look at any other play in football, there's not one single play where 3 people touch the ball to score points. So it happens in under 1.3 seconds. So it's a real bang bang. It's got to be precise. We all got to be on the same page, and it's just little small cues that only us know. It's open dialogue, really. How was a snap? Snap's fine. How are the laces on field goal? Laces are good. Was the lean okay, Brett? And it's just open dialogue, and just the more we can communicate, the better.
When it comes to making the magic happen on special teams, punts and field goals happen so quickly. Jones says he just has to simplify the task ahead of him.
For me, it's simple. It's catch the ball, kick the ball, or catch the ball and you're putting it down. LP makes that a breeze. Nobody gives him the credit that's due. The guy's a machine. Laces are good, the snaps are good. It makes everything easy. For me, I see the ball, and that's really the only thing that matters at the time. It's getting the ball down, giving Brett a clear picture on the back end. The punt is, I feel like you're playing catch. He's throwing it between his legs upside down. Again, hard for him, but he makes it easy. It's just catch and kick. So there's no telling how many reps of that I've had. I'd like to know, but yeah, it's just time on task.
Jones has set the franchise record for most punts inside the 20 with 180. The job of a punter can be mentally straining, with the importance of limiting the opponent's field position and only having a handful of opportunities to do so.
I call it the sandwich method. What was good about the play? What could be better? What was another thing that was good? So, the punt wasn't blocked. It was a 20-yard return. He didn't score a touchdown. You got to kind of find that silver lining, but just find a way to, kind of get that cycle of the snap, put it to rest. You kind of have to have that short memory, but find a way to use use each kick, whether, good, bad, and different, as a stepping stone as you move forward.
As a punter, he doesn't typically have to talk to the media throughout the week. However, his name did come up in a media scrum with quarterback Dak Prescott earlier this year when Prescott arrived at his locker to a surprise from Jones.
We were on the plane coming back from Washington, and I wear boots every day, every week with suits, all that kind of stuff. I don't know, somehow we got to talking. He was sitting in front of me. I was like, you're a Louisiana boy, got to get you in some boots. Ended up getting him some Gator boots, but I was just I think he may have thought I was joking. I was like, what's your size, all that kind of stuff. I was like, don't worry, I'll hook you up. So I think I went home that night and actually ordered him some, and I think he got a kick out of it. I think he likes them.
A country boy from Rome, Georgia, Jones isn't a stranger to Southern get-up. He owns about 25 pair of cowboy boots. But maybe his favorite pair of shoes he's wearing this season are for the My Cause, My Cleats game. Jones will wear customized cleats in the Bears game, supporting 2 children receiving cancer treatment at St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, a cause Jones has been supporting for 2 years.
For Team Brock, it was a little boy that I had met actually at a game, like in the Landry room afterwards, and got to know his family and his parents and all that stuff, and followed him and his story, just trying to bring awareness to a rare pediatric cancer, and did the same this past year with Georgia May. She had another rare cancer. This year is just kind of pulling from both sides. I've got one Team Brock and one Georgia May. The more awareness, the better. I mean, it's super rare cancers for these kids, and they shouldn't ever have to go through it. Their parents shouldn't ever have to go through it. So I was like, this is the bread and butter. I'm close to both of them, and want to bring awareness back to it.
But the giving doesn't stop there. After the Bears game, Jones plans to auction off his cleats and give the money back to St. Jude. Special teams talk doesn't stop here. On Sunday, the Cowboys held a tryout with 3 kickers. Starter Brett Maher is 19 of 28 in attempted field goals this season, and 67% of the time is not enough for the Cowboys and this team. We talk kickers, Chicago, and what lies ahead for these Cowboys with 4 games to go in the regular season next.
This segment was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys Insider was brought to you by AT&T. Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass.
How we doing, guys?
Good. Do you consider yourselves thankful to be in the position where you've lost these 2 games, but your percentages of winning the division have actually increased?
Yeah, again, the biggest thing we try to do is come to work every day and be our best to prepare for our challenge this week. And that's really where our mind is, that's where our focus is. And had a great challenge Thursday night up in Chicago. So we'll just stay locked in on our Thursday preparation to go play our best football on Thursday night.
The Cowboys started their new week of preparation on Sunday morning. It's another Thursday night matchup where it's expected to be cold in Chicago. Angry is a word Ezekiel Elliott uses to describe this team. So much so that they're starting to take it out on each other in practice. Zeke says they just haven't been good enough. So honestly, he's not surprised by their 6-6 record.
I've said many times, to win ball games in this league, you have to play well. And so I wouldn't say I'm surprised we're 6-6 because in those games we lost, we didn't play well enough to win it.
The locker room wasn't in disarray this week, just in deep disappointment.
Yeah, angry, just angry that we're not where we expect ourselves to be, and just angry that things haven't been going the way that we want them to go. So, I mean, we just got to channel that the right way, come in like we did today, go to work, and just trust the process and go out there and play better football.
After a rocky showing on Thanksgiving, kicker Brett Maher's 2 misses forced the staff to host a kicker workout.
You have confidence in yourself. Do you wonder if there's confidence in you to still send you out and do it?
That's not my job to worry about.
What is the message from the coaching staff to you this weekend when you have guys coming in to work out?
Get ready to go.
I mean, you kind of know you've always, that's a lot of kickers in this league. If you miss a couple, you just expect to see some guys coming in, and it's all you can do is handle
what you're doing and go about your own job? Is that how you've always looked at it?
Yeah, I'm going to give myself the best chance this week to go out there and go 1 for 1, and then after that one, go 1 for 1 again and see what happens.
Maher's 67% conversion rate on field goals for the year apparently isn't cutting it, but neither were the 3 players the club worked out on Sunday. None of them were signed, and the team decided to stick with Maher going forward. But the road to this turnaround runs through the Bears, a team with an exact mirroring record as the Dallas Cowboys at 6-6.
We're not focused on trying to make the playoffs right now. That's not where we're at. We're focused on Dallas, because if nothing happens with Dallas, then we got to reset again for the following week and see what the deal is. So that's what we've talked about. It's reset. We're in reset mode. We're not happy with what's happened the last 3 or 4 weeks. It's important to do everything we can to go 1-0 at Soldier Field Thursday night.
Well, one thing we do know about Thursday night's game in Chicago, it's supposed to be cold, and quarterback Dak Prescott did practice with a glove on his throwing hand this week because he knows this top-tier offense needs to be performing at a high caliber on Thursday night. I'm Lindsay Draper, and I'll see you next week after the Bears game for a brand new episode of Cowboys Insider.